Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer. I call myself the Frosted Maple here on YouTube. In this month's video, this being the first week of February, it is time for our new tarot card. So if you're new here, you're not aware, I have been reading tarot since I was a teenager. I don't call myself an expert. Tarot is something that I just do for myself to help in my own journey. If you check my earlier video, the video from the first week of January of 2022, this is the first time I posted a yearly tarot spread where I shared it with you guys. And I shared the first tarot card I pulled with you, as well as some questions associated with that card. And now it's time for the February card. The card I pulled in the month of February is Judgment. Now, the deck I used for my yearly tarot spread is this deck. It's quite glossy, so I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's the card. There's Judgment. I pulled out my OG deck. I bought this deck back in 1995. Still use it. And that's a little clearer, I think. Yeah. So now the cards mean different things depending on how you pull them. Now the Judgment card is part of the major arcana. Upright has one meaning, reversed has another meaning. Now in my yearly tarot spread, I pulled it upright. So I'll be predominantly talking about what the card means upright. Now, reversed, I'm just going to touch upon, but I will leave you a link to a website called Biddy Tarot. That's B-I-D-D-Y, and then the word tarot, so T-A-R-O-T, and I'll leave the link down below for you. If the link doesn't work, just highlight the webpage address and post it into whatever search engine you're using. So when Judgment is reversed, it basically represents stagnation. You should not be making a decision. You don't have all the information you need, and your own mental thoughts may be clouding the picture, muddying the waters, that sort of thing. So if you pull this card reversed, it's telling you don't make any big decisions. Instead, take your time and reflect. Do some self-work, do some shadow work, figure some stuff out, okay? Don't rush into anything. Now, like I said, for me, I pulled the card upright. So when the card is pulled upright, this is actually a positive card. If you look at the image, you might think, oh my gosh, it's Judgment Day, you know, like the dead have risen, zombies are now, you know, all over the earth. No, not happening. Not a doom and gloom card. It's actually a very good card. What this card is telling you when you pull it upright is that you are going to be making some significant decisions. Now, the decisions that you make may actually be small in retrospect. You may think you're not making a big decision, but the decisions that you make in relation to this card, or when this card shows up in your spread, are going to have ripple effects in your life. You are transitioning. So as you can see here, the dead have risen. So that is a transition. Well, first of all, these people had to die. So it's a transition from death to life. Well, life to death, back to life. So that's a significant change in state. Now, also with this card, what it represents is great healing. Because whatever was holding you back, whatever you were missing before, you now have all the pieces to the puzzle. You have all the forgiveness within yourself to move forward. So you can address whatever it was that was holding you back, whether it was negative self-talk, whether it was a negative relationship you had with others, or someone toxic that you cut out of your life, or that you're about to cut out of your life. Whatever it is that was hindering you before, was hurting you before, there is forgiveness, there is healing, and there's the opportunity for you to make that significant decision that's going to impact your life. Because I pulled this during my yearly spread, the implications are larger. The ripples, right? It's not a small pebble. These are going to be larger stones that I throw into the water. Now, ironically, even though this card comes up, you can decide to just forget about it and not make a decision. And I'm going to caution you against that, because deciding not to act is still deciding something. I'm always of the mind to be proactive. You know, don't let something get out of control. Don't let something bad happen. Don't sit back. Be a proactive person in your own life, or participant in your own life. I hope that makes sense to people. Now let's look at this card. All right, you can get a lot from a card just by looking at the artwork on the card. So you can see some similarities here between the two cards. You'll notice that there is an angel representing a higher power. The red cross, which in our modern world represents healing, medicine, that sort of thing. And you'll notice in both cards there is flood and people rising from coffins. Men, women, children, all the same. All are being risen to answer a higher call with great healing involved. So as you can see with the cards, there's a lot of imagery. Now, the imagery is helpful, especially with your intuition, because with reading tarot and with making a decision, yes, there is an intellectual aspect, that rational, let's make pros and cons, let's look at this from an intellect perspective. But there's also the intuition side. Intuition is something that we draw upon all the time. You know, sometimes we can't explain it because it's non-explainable. Don't know what it is, but I don't like that particular place. It just has a bad feel. Or I don't like that particular person. I mean, not that they've said or done anything. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about it. Same with decisions that we make in our lives. We draw upon the intellectual, rational aspect, but we also need to draw upon the intuitive aspect. Same thing goes when you're reading tarot. It's not so much exactly what the handbook says the cards are about. It's also using your intuition to get a feel for what the card is trying to relay to you. So when this card appears in your spread, just know that if something inside of you is saying, yeah, I want to say this, but I should do that, you know what? Have a little talk with yourself. And in order to help with that, these cards have questions that can go with them. And so I have chosen 3 questions as this month's shadow work to help with the decisions that I'll be making during this month. So let me show you here. So here I am. I pulled out my journal. The first question I'm asking myself in the month of February is, what transformation is taking place, or what big decisions do I need to make? After all, if I don't know what the ultimate goal is, how can I help myself achieve that? Number 2 is, what do I need to forgive myself for in order to make this transformation happen? So is there some negative self-talk going on? Is there some self-sabotage happening? What is it, and how do I say goodbye to that old behavior so I can successfully move forward? Or old thoughts as well. And lastly, number 3 is, are you rising up to meet the challenge? If not, what are you going to do to meet it? So that's identifying any stumbling blocks, taking a proactive approach, and figuring out the pros and cons, the tangible stuff that needs to occur in order for me to successfully transition to the next phase of my life. So if you feel like following along and doing these yourself, by all means, pull out your journal and ask yourself these 3 questions as well. So that is the Judgment card. That is what I am dealing with this month. If you'd like to follow along, by all means, check out the Biddy Tarot website to learn more about the card and answer the 3 questions. You don't have to share. This is my personal journey that I am deciding to put out there because some of these questions, some of my journey may help you in your journey. So if you'd like to follow along, feel free to do the questions, learn about the tarot. If you feel I have missed something about the tarot, or you get a different feeling when you look at the card, because again, everybody's intuition is different. Your life experiences, my life experiences, they're all different. We're all unique. But if you get a different feeling for a card, you want to share what the card represents to you or what your experience is with this card, let me know down below. If you've read tarot before and you read this card differently, yeah, share. I am always willing to learn from other folks and always open to hearing a new perspective. So just leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Judgment. All right, until next week, I hope you all stay happy and healthy, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.